stories. And the moderator of the panel is going to be Ms. Badu Tas. She heads up EPICO, the property division for Abu Dhabi-based Al Fahim Group. Throughout her 13-year tenure, she's managed around 3,000 properties in the group's 5 million square foot asset portfolio, and so with developing as a general manager of Deerfield's Town Square shopping mall located in Al Baya in Abu Dhabi, which has recently been opened. And I know that that hasn't been without a lot of headaches that you normally have when you open a shopping center, so I look forward to hearing from her. Before her career in the real estate industry, she rose through the ranks, a decade of working as a corporate banker in Istanbul, Turkey, and Moscow and Russia. She's a certified member of the International Council of Shopping Centers and the Middle East Council of Shopping Centers. Please join me in welcoming Badu Tas to the stage. She will introduce the panel. Thank you.
Good afternoon, everybody. Thanks for coming after lunch. I know this is very challenging. This session is about challenges and surviving success stories, and I think this is the biggest challenge I have, that's to keep you awake here for the last session of this event before you go home. I'm going to start introducing my panel members first. We have Georgie George. He is the General Manager, Development and Leasing, Lulu Group International. Georgie George started his retail real estate career with Zubair Corporation, Oman in the year 2001, relocating to Dubai with semi-government developer Union Properties as Senior Retail Manager. Georgie was instrumental in successfully launching retail centers with an integrated mixed-use developments like Uptown Mirdif, Motor City, Green Community, Index Tower, Limestone House, etc. Relocating to Abu Dhabi with retail giant MK Group, Georgie was led hand in successfully launching Rack Mall and Al Wahda extension for the group. Later on, Georgie spearheaded Nation Towers for semi-government Abu Dhabi-based developer ICT, where he successfully re-merchandised and leased the retail development. Georgie is currently the General Manager of Project Development and Leasing for Lulu Group International for the Oman region, where he is leading development for 3 retail developments. The second panelist, David Turling. David Turling has more than 25 years experience in the shopping mall industry, spanning 3 continents. He has held senior positions with several of the most prominent shopping mall owner developers in Australia, Asia, and the Middle East, including Vice President and Head of Emaar Malls Group, CEO of Nakil Shopping Malls, and Senior Vice President of Capital Malls in Singapore, one of Asia's largest mall groups. Our third panelist is Mark Christian Raven. He is the founder and chairman and CEO of the Location Group. Mark is joining us from Europe today. After his studies, Mark Christian started his career in 2001 with Ernst & Young. In 2005, he founded the Location Group, serving retailers as well as landlords and investors with offices in Zurich, London, and Hanoi. He became one of the leading international retail experts. Mark Christian has been involved in some of the most prominent leading and sales deals in the European major cities in the last decade. For several years, he has been representing Runway's finest, including LVMH, Kering, Richmond, H&M, Inditex brands, as well as Armani, Belchef, Brunello Cucinelli, Longchamp, among others. Mark Christian consistently ranks among the 5 retail professionals. He has appeared in several magazines and TV interviews and traveled around the globe for Location TV. His latest startup is an online database and website which brings you today's offline retail real estate world with more than 3,000 shopping streets and malls online. So we welcome Mark. Last but not least, His Excellency Marwan bin Jassim Al Sarkar. He is the CEO of Sharjah Investment and Development Authority. He is also CEO of Al Kasbah Development Authority, a board member of the Sharjah Sports Club, a patron of Design Days Dubai, board member of German Emirati Joint Council for Industry and Commerce, board of director, and the former board member of Sharjah Tourism and Development Authority. Is considered one of the key leaders in Sharjah's growth. A graduate holding a high diploma in accounting from Dubai Men's College in 1999 and a bachelor degree in applied sciences and business administration. Marwan Al Sarkar initially worked for the Sharjah Electricity and Water Authority in 1999 as a head of auditing department. In 2003, he joined the Dubai Shopping Festival and was assigned the post of finance manager, and thereafter promoted as a director of finance administration in DSF 2005. Possessing a sharp understanding of the market and in-depth insight into functioning of economies and international legalities and legislation, Al Sarkar has proven his mettle in quality, operations, control, and strategic planning. Al Sarkar believes that Sharjah is a highly dynamic city and a place where people can find democracy, peace, and community engagement. For him, UAE is a country where nothing is impossible and where development has become a continuous, fast-moving trend, which in turn shaped his responsibility to cope with this rapid change. Al Sarkar follows a life method based on dedication and loyalty to the job and owns a clear faith that life brings a lot of challenges which can be turned into valuable opportunities through organized leadership and team spirit. Welcome, Mr. Sarkar. Well, the session is about success stories and challenges. I am just gonna give you a little bit of my story, but the session is about our panelists, so I'm not going to take much of your time. So, as David introduced, we just developed and opened a shopping center, which was really very challenging because it started from scratch. The first challenge was to change the zoning. It was a farmland, and we had to change it to commercial and retail land. And then it was the global crisis, which there was limited funds, or almost no funds available in the market. We had to do our funding. And then the challenge was the huge competition. We realized that we're not the only smart ones who understood the market in Abu Dhabi is lacking retail real estate. There were other players, and they came all at the same time. So there was a huge competition. And we faced big challenges in respect to leasing. So we did a lot of convincing of the Urban Planning Council to get our zoning, a lot of convincing to funders to get our funding organized because of the global crisis. It was almost impossible. Then we had no interested or very limited interested tenants to convince to come. There was design challenges, you know it all, we've been through all, as I'm sure everybody did at the same time. So there were times that we thought it's impossible. It was really difficult to move on with a lot of rejections. So I don't know, it was really frustrating at some point, but we never stopped. We didn't give up. We had a dream. We wanted to give something to the community. We believed in the catchment. They were there living, and they had no offer. They were traveling to Dubai or inside Abu Dhabi to buy their things, to shop, and to spend time in shopping malls. So we said we believed in the project, and it happened. We opened 2 months ago, and all my retailers are happily surprised with the turnout, with the trading volumes now. And as a developer, we're more than happy to see that happen. So that's all about me. Coco Chanel said in order to be irreplaceable, one must always be different. So we continuously search and try to find out what can make us different because the competition is there, it's hard to survive. We are living in a land of latest and the greatest, so survival and success lies in creating a difference. Being a developer and a manager of a smaller shopping center, which is 80,000 square meter though, but it is challenging. So here, our other panel members, they are going to talk one by one about their success stories, in particular projects. I'm going to start with Joji. He's going to talk about his project, the Nation Towers, how he converted his project, which was retail at the beginning, to a leisure and F&B model. So please, Joji.
Well, good afternoon, everybody. It's actually my privilege to be in front of an esteemed audience like this. Basically, I wanted to pick up the case study more than a scenario for discussion, because one of the projects which I did in the past year was a mixed-use development in Abu Dhabi called the Nation Towers, a development which was done at a cost of 3.7 billion dirhams. As you can see, it's a twin-tower mixed-use development with a composition of one of the towers being a 64-floor residential apartment tower, which consisted of 360 apartments. There were 28 floors of offices with 41,000 square meters of commercial office space. It accommodated actually offices for the Ad Hoc Supreme Council. It accommodates actually the headquarters of Abu Dhabi Tourism and Cultural Authority. Pretty much grade A kind of offering. It had 17 floors of total offering, which was operated by the St. Regis brand with 283 keys. Now the retail premises was basically a 3-floor complex connected at the foot of the 2 towers. Basically, one face of the tower was facing the Cornish Road. The main entrance was actually heading on to the main open parking where much of the events for the number of the apples and such. This is actually a site plan depicting how the development was laid out. So this is tower number 1, which is a residential tower. Tower number 2 is adjoining to it. One unique feature of the development was that it had a clubhouse which was located on the other side of the road, and uniquely it was interconnected with a tunnel which even could accommodate vehicular traffic under the Cornish Road. And the beach club basically represented a few restaurants like Asian Cuba, Gary Roads, and so on and so forth. Now, moving on to the floor plans, what was the main challenge with this project was basically, as with any mixed-use development, you have a certain positioning the overall master plan itself defines for the retail component, which was the owner's vision to have a boutique kind of retail offering. So you have department stores interconnected on 2 floors, offering close to about 2,000 square meters each, 4,000 square meters, which would eventually form the main engine of the whole development, with the likes of Macy's or Bloomingdale's or how many it was at the time. And then retail stores spread around it, which did not make much sense because obviously the development was groundbroken in 2007. And in a span of 5 years, the retail landscape in Abu Dhabi greatly changed because you had Galleria Soa which opened, you had Etihad Towers which opened, you had World Trade Center which opened, you had Al Extent which opened, which was not part of the game plan for the owners at the time. So we had to look at kind of re-strategizing the whole development with a long-term view or some kind of a sustainability perspective. So basically, what was done was we looked at the whole development from being more of an F&B and leisure perspective. The reason being that the whole development did not have muscle enough to actually fight with the competition, which was locally there, which was Marina Mall, which was a 5-minute drive from the development, which was Galleria Soa, which was again 5 minutes from the development, which was Etihad Towers, which was again a short drive. So we had to develop our own niche for this kind of a development, which we thought uniquely was increasing the number of F&B offerings within the development, and also adding in a large-scale entertainment and leisure element as well. But the main challenge was basically the base was already executed. You had minimal flexibility in terms of changing the development. So we had to actually go down back to the drawing board, redesigning the whole thing, increasing the power load for the whole development, adding more services to accommodate F&B offering. Like for example, the main anchor store, we actually got rid of the escalators. We converted that into a 12-screen, 870-seater, all-gold plus cinema, which was considered to be a great move for that development as a standalone attraction. And as you can see, much of these red units have all turned into F&B offering. So you had basically Waffy Gourmet going into 1,600 square meters of full-fledged space, Leopold's of London, Smoking Dolls Cafe de la Paix, all the large-scale operators in the 400 to 600 square meters came in. Now again, we could not go with the conventional commercial offering in terms of F&B offering as well. Simply the reason being that we had to be one step ahead of the competition round, and we had to be in a way unique as well. So we actually went in with operators like there's a signature restaurant which is operated by Sanjeev Kapoor, who is actually recognized as the most popular Indian chef currently in the world. We went in with a 700 square meter space and other F&B operators in that kind of a caliber. We also retained certain elements of the communal features, which was basically, we put in an organic foods and cafe again, somebody who was not in the conventional supermarket offering. We also did a children's entertainment concept, which was close to about 1,000 square meters, which again was different from normal conventional offering, but added to the communal feature. Basically, what I wanted to present was basically, if this was not the direction we were driving in, we were actually heading on through a competition which did not make any sense for the whole development, because it lacked critical mass, it lacked any sense of identity, and it wouldn't sustain in the long run. So I believe this was the only option which we had, which was successfully implemented, and I hope the development would actually be commercially a viable proposition for the operators who are there and also for the developer. Thank you.
Thank you, George. We're going to have David Turling now, who is Vice President of Alvarez Properties. David is going to talk about the challenges of repositioning Alvarez, being an old-aged, relatively aged center, and a smaller one compared to the competition in Dubai.